Hello and welcome back to another video on the Moopa Troopa 7 channel. Back with another Sunday morning challenge. It's 7 a.m. and I am ready to play some more White Ketramose on the play with a keepable hand. Not the best thing I've ever seen by any means, but still pretty good. We have made a couple changes to the list, which, I mean, if you've been watching the videos, then you've seen a lot of this deck at this point. So I'll do a little bit of in-depth stuff when we get to the sideboard, but for the most part, if you want to see where I have been going with this list, go check out my other videos. There's a lot of them up, and yeah, they're great. Let's see, we gotta take the Through the Breach. Crazy hand to see from our opponent. Eldrazi Temple, Island, Scalding Tarn, Through the Breach. So Through the Breach is gone. Let's go ahead and shock and just play out Emperor of Bones. We have Solitude, should we need it. But we're really hoping that opponent just doesn't draw a ton of card draw, as the blue-red Through the Breach probably has. They keep a card on top. It's not what we want to see. Let's exile that Through the Breach from the yard. Play out Eldrazi Temple. And Talisman. Sure. So go ahead and take that Scalding Tarn, get in for 2, and I'm just going to play the Boggart Trawler to apply some more pressure. We'll go get basic planes. Play this out. We do have Solitude as an answer to a Through the Breach coming at us. But I'd prefer to not have to do that. I'd prefer them to just blank for forever. And they're passing the turn now, so it's probably either a Brain Surge or like a Kozilek's Command. We find Fatal Push, which is pretty much the worst draw. Let's go to combat. I think we will exile another card just in case we find Ketramose and need more cards in exile. Let's get in and let's surveil actually before. Should have done this before combat in case we found like a Overlord off the top or a Flicker Wisp. But do we want to put that into the graveyard to get back next turn? Or do we want to keep it on top? Or do we want to do neither? And just put it into the yard and still activate Emperor of Bones? I think we want to put it into the graveyard. And yeah, we should have done this before, so we could have Flicker Wisped out Surveil land, and then we could have also done something with an Ephemerate, but I think we'll just hit them for 5 for now. Pass the turn, see what they're working with. They do nothing. Well, that's good for us, I guess. I can Solitude this Emrakul, right? Protection from spells that are 1 or more colors. Yes, I can. There's the island. And they're playing an Eldrazi. It is Devourer of Destiny. I guess we'll Ephemerate this. And Rebound, we don't want to do anything. Draw a card. Find Ketramose. Ketramose is very nice. Let's play Ketramose out. Then we'll go to combat. exile, I guess, the Flicker Wisp. Draw a card, hopefully a white card. It is not a white card. That's okay, though. And honestly, I think we're just going to go plains and then activate this to draw a couple more cards. Let's see, what do we want to flicker out of play? I guess I should have done this on end step, and I could have flickered out the Thundering Falls. Let's do the Boggart Trawler, and that'll turn our Ketramose online. Now that's another thing to pitch to the Solitude in case they find through the breach. And we'll exile our own graveyard, draw another card, and pass the turn. And hopefully just have the ability to kind of just outgrind them at this point. And they scoop it up, so nice game 1 win against an Eldrazi deck. Always good to have. We'll board in all our good stuff against Eldrazi decks. Let's see, I guess I can talk about what I've added. I've cut an Ephemerate, added a March to the main deck, cut the March from the sideboard, and put in an Emrakul in its place, because I lost a mill, and never again. Plus mill's been pretty popular, so I think it is worth the one sideboard slot to just improve your matchup by like times 10. And then I've cut the Meticulous Archive for a second Shadowy Backstreet. I'm still running the one Temple Garden as like a third color for Prismatic Ending. And yeah, that's about it. But in the Eldrazi matchup, we cut Fatal Push, board in this stuff, and we probably want the Aven Interrupters too. I think we can go down the Marches and the Ephemerates. And I think the Pendings are just not great. Well, let's run this. This is what I've been doing for the most part. All right, so we have no hate, but we have Relic plus Ketramose plus Emperor. So this is pretty bad against a Through the Breach. I think I'm going to keep it, though. I mean, this stuff is just so powerful. You can beat Eldrazi a lot of the time with it anyway. Well, and we found a Thoughtseize, too. I guess I probably still should have just played the Relic out on turn 1. No, maybe it's right to go turn 1 Thoughtseize, because otherwise I am kind of curving out, and then I miss the opportunity to Thoughtseize. Stock up or Dismember? I think we'll just take the stock up, and I'm like okay if they dismember my Emperor of Bones, and then I'm okay if they dismember my Ketramose, because I can just get back with Emperor of Bones and draw a crap ton of cards. So they put a card on top. Maybe an Eldrazi for this Ugin's Labyrinth. We shall see. Maybe shouldn't have got just basic Swamp in case I find White Orchid Phantom. But we can just go Emperor on turn 2. They play Coast and Talisman, so they are splashing green for something. Yeah, let's be faced with the exact same decision as last turn, and still gonna take the stock up, I think. And do I want to Surveil or play out this Relic? I think I'll just play out the Relic. Pass the turn. They play out an Ugin's Labyrinth, and they found an Emrakul to put underneath it. I find Ophelia. So now I think I just run out Felia on end step. let them dismember that. And if they do, this Ketramose is just going to take over the game. I get a Surveil this way, too. They play another Talisman. That's completely fine with me. And we'll go for Felia. Surveil. Solitude can stay, I think. I think that's going to be a good insurance policy in case they ever top deck Breach. Now let's go for this. Let's play Ketramose. Draw a couple cards out of it. Target them. Find Emperor of Bones. Combat. Exile. I guess a Talisman. They dismember. In response, we'll go ahead and crack this. Draw one card. Draw another card. And draw a third card. So we found the extra thing for our Solitude. They're down to one card in hand, while we have 6. So yeah, we're doing pretty good here, and I'm gonna get to start looping White Orchid Phantoms next turn. And play out this Emperor of Bones as well. And then have a 2-turn clock. They play Torpor Orb, which is solid. But I just can blink it out with Felia. So it doesn't do a whole lot. Let's go for Emperor of Bones. Exile the Ketramose so that we can get it back next turn and attack with it. And we'll attack with this. Blink out the Torpor Orb. They take 2. We'll go ahead and just blow up this Ugin's Labyrinth, force them to put the card back in hand, or they don't, and now there's probably not any way they can win. We win the match 1-0. Wonderful. See you in the next round. On the play for round number 2 with pretty nice hand. Quite a bit of lands, actually, but we do have Relic plus Ketramose, which in a lot of matchups is going to be pretty good. We're also on the play, which is nice. Now my options for turn 1 are Surveil or lead with tap land. I think I'm just going to Surveil. Try and find a 2-drop, maybe a Felia or an Overlord or Flicker Wisp would all be good options. And then turn 2 can go for the Relic. And probably play a tap land. Probably play a tap land to conserve on life. If we don't find anything else to do, another 1-drop. Let's get this show on the road. We'll go ahead and Surveil on our opponent's end step. Against Overgrown Tomb. What does Overgrown Tomb mean? Overgrown Tomb untapped, too. I guess it could be Yogg. Wonder how the Yawgmoth matchup is. Am I getting Thought Seized here? Cauldron Familiar. So, not Yogg, but definitely a Graveyard Sacrifice-based deck. Let's go ahead and Surveil. Sucks to get rid of that, but we definitely don't want it here. So we will. Find a Godless Shrine. Am I going to want both of these Boggart Trawlers? Probably not. No, I'm probably not going to want both of them. I think let's just play one out tapped this turn. play a relic, and pass the turn. Well, let's go ahead and activate the relic as soon as possible. It fetches. Temple Garden untapped. Playing, is this Amalia? Did they mean to play Sam? Birthing Ritual. That's fine with me. Turn 4, I can go for the Witch Enchanter on that. Let's see what they get, I guess. Sam would be annoying because they can... It triggers itself, I believe, so they would get a food back and they could return the Cauldron Familiar. So it'd be essentially just a free Sam. Any other 2-drop would be manageable for me. They find nothing, though. Okay. That I can handle. So let's play Ketramose. Target myself. Just to draw a card. Hopefully find a Solitude. Don't find a Solitude, but we should be okay unless they combo kill me right now. Which I'm hoping doesn't happen. Because next turn I'll have this relic up. Unless I want to go for a Witch Enchanter on the Birthing Ritual. Might be better to just Felia next turn, though. They play Sam, and I guess it doesn't trigger off itself. But if they get a Viscera Seer now, off of this Birthing Ritual, we die. Didn't really have... I guess I could have held up Relic. Gilded Goose hits the board. Do just have to fade a Birthing... the Viscera Seer off the Birthing Ritual, though. Let's see what they find. They're sacking that. They find the Viscera Seer. Let's scoop it up. Unfortunate. I guess we could have played around it. Maybe that's the right play. But, oh well. We did not, and we died. So, do we even have anything to board in? I mean, our main deck should be pretty good against them. I don't want Thoughtseize. I don't want really any of this stuff. I don't have, like, extra Grave Hate in the board. I do have main deck Relics, though. I think we just keep this as is. Fine by me. Feels like it should be a good matchup, but we'll see. I guess we could board in an extra Thoughtseize, but I don't know. I think all of our stuff is pretty good. I'm also down to 2 Ephemerate. We'll see if that's an issue. I've just been boarding them out in so many matchups. All right, on the play again for game number 2. Let's see what we're working with. No white source isn't great. We do have Solitude and Pending. If we find a white source in the first 3 turns, we're doing pretty good. Yeah, I think this is still a keep. Despite no white source. Let's play out a Boggart Bog tapped and pass the turn. See what they do. It's a turn 1 Gilded Goose. That's fine. We find Relic of Progenitus. Do we want to Solitude that now? I think so, and then we just make sure we can get that back with the Overlord this turn. So, Solitude the Goose. Boggart Bog untapped this time. Unfortunately, no white source, but hopefully we'll get there. We find Solitude and Flicker Wisp. I mean, with no white source, we definitely just have to take the Solitude. Opponent fetches. We get Godless Shrine untapped. And they play out a Birthing Ritual. So I'd really like to find a white source now. Find Fatal Push. So I don't think we want to pop the relic now, just because I can push whatever they play, and I don't really want to solitude it. Unless it's a cat, I guess. They Thoughtseize me, that's fine. Probably taking Ketramose, but I guess we'll see. Now I'm okay to pop the relic, although it's pretty good insurance for a combo. I can also just sit behind it and wait for this Overlord to tick down while I play a bunch of removal spells. Not a lot of experience in this matchup. Okay, they take Solitude. They're tapping green. No, they're playing an Underground Mortuary. Surveil a Cauldron Familiar into the yard. Wow, that is a real good one. And they get a Young Wolf. Okay. So they really have everything right now. Let's see what they do with the Birthing Ritual. They sack the Young Wolf for Sam. Let's just Fatal Push it in response. Need to find that white source right about now. They return Cauldron Familiar to the battlefield. Make another food, too, and ping me for one. And then they'll get their Young Wolf back as a 2/2. They still have that Birthing Ritual in play. I find another Ketramose. Well, let's pop the relic now. We gotta find white source. That's not a white source. So we'll pass. Not a lot I can do. Opponent plays Sam again. And Viscera Seer, so we'll push Sam. But really falling behind quite a bit here. Need to take out quite a few things with this prismatic ending. Most notably the Birthing Ritual, but they could also just get another Sam. Cycling through the deck pretty hard over there. Should I board it in Wrath of the Skies? Maybe. Either way. I don't know. Maybe this should have been a mulligan. They sack the Familiar. Makes sense to get. Do they run Yawgmoth? Is that why do they have the Young Wolf in here? They just get a Gilded Goose. That's fine. I draw. Another Relic is pretty much just too slow. Because even if I find white source with it now, I can't pending the Birthing Ritual. Everything else just gets sacrificed. But I don't really have another option. I gotta keep looking. Maybe I can find a Surveil land. They get back the Cauldron Familiar. Graveyards get exiled. I draw a card. Find another non-white source. Well, I did just cut a fetch land for a Boggart Bog, and it is not working out for me so far. Actually, there's been a few games where I've drawn both Boggart Bogs. So had I had a white source, I'm probably able to win, but that's Magic for you. Oh well, we'll go to match number 3 and hopefully not get screwed over by our mana. Match number 3 on the play, and it's time to start crushing. And we got a really nice hand to do that with. We got Surveil Land into Overlord into Flicker Wisp. Hopefully that goes off without a hitch, and we get enough value to overwhelm our opponent instantly. Looks like they're on a mulligan to 5 as well. We have a pretty good hand. Never want to call it too early. Also, it looks like they have 61 cards in the deck, which is common for Titan players. So that is pretty scary. Amulet Titan, definitely a deck that can do pretty well on 5 cards. We're going to do our best to stop them from getting everything that they want to done. And I guess we'll see what we can do. Do have some good stuff in the board. Oh, never mind. They are on double Leyline of Resonance. So honestly, no clue what this is. Ketramose on top. We will keep that one. And let's see what they're going for. They just pass on turn 1. Okay. I will go for Overlord of the Balemark. Mill over 4. Find Felia. Let's get that one back. Now, if we need to use this Fatal Push next turn, we can. And play Felia. They play a Fervent Champion. I mean, double Leyline of Resonance is pretty nuts. Might be best for us to just try and push every creature they play. Maybe play out the Felia this turn. Yeah, I think let's just kill that. Don't want to die out of nowhere if we like whiff on a Solitude. And we'll pass the turn over to them. See what they do. They play a 3rd land and a Cacophony Scamp. I mean, that one's also pretty scary. We'll see what they can do with it. We'll run out Felia. Really just looking for Flicker Wisp at this point. Or not Flicker Wisp, Solitude, excuse me. I guess we'll go for... We have a couple options. We can go for a 2nd Overlord to dig deeper for a Solitude, or we can just get Ketramose down. I think we're going to do that. And we'll get in with Felia, blink out this Overlord. And definitely block next turn. Just want to minimize the amount of damage we're taking. If we can find a Solitude, that would be ideal. I guess maybe this isn't the best just because we're losing out on some life from this Ketramose. We find a Relic. Would have been nice to have another land here. But oh well. Let's see what we hit with this Overlord. Opponent is fetching probably a Surveil land here, I would imagine. There's the Commercial District. We get our Overlord back. They put a card on top, which is terrifying. And I guess we're getting back a Witch Enchanter, and we'll go for a block and hopefully not die to this. I feel like it's possible, but they would have to give Trample somehow. Or boost its power to 15. I mean, there's Scale Up, but Scale Up boosts it only to 6. Although if they have Monstrous Rage with that, I'm pretty sure we're just dead. I mean, let's block. Looks like they have something. It is Monstrous Rage, and that's definitely going to be enough to kill us, right? Wow. Yeah, that is so much damage. All right, let's go to game 2. Lost to a mulligan to 5. What do we want to board in here? I mean, probably the Momentum Breakers, just as much removal as possible, I would think. I think Emperor of Bones is pretty weak here. Ketramose is probably also pretty weak, and we can board in the Thoughtseize to just have as much interaction against them as possible. Is there anything else that we want here? Maybe one of the Ketramose is okay. Let's just get the head on board as much as possible. I really just needed more land there. Now, can we keep this? We have Relic. We have Fatal Push. We have 2 removal spells. And Overlord. We just need to find a land at some point. I think I'm going to keep it. I don't know if it's great, but I'm going to keep it. And I honestly think I'm just going to run out the Relic on turn 1, in case I need to draw a card earlier with it. I don't think this is a matchup. I mean, 3 damage may matter, but I don't think it usually does. They start with 7 this time. No ley lines, though. Let's play out the Boggart Bog and play a Relic. Pass the turn. I guess they're probably running Leyline X in that deck as well. They play Monastery Swiftspear, sure. Yeah, I don't know, maybe they're just aggro. We shouldn't have kept this hand. Guess we'll see. There's a Fatal Push. Let's just do it now, I think. I mean, we have a ton of removal. We just need to hit land drops at some point this game. We have some time. Opponent is fetching Mountain. Lots of Slick Shot Show Off. Okay. We draw Thoughtseize. Well, let's cast that, I suppose. See what they're working with. Cacophony Scamp. Scale Up. Groundswell. Spellskite. I mean, let's just take the Cacophony Scamp. They play their Commercial District. Let's see where their card goes. To the graveyard. So Wooded Foothills, and they're playing out the Spellskite. Are they playing the... Not playing the Slick Shot Show Off. Well, let's exile a card from their yard. Untap. Draw. Find a Shadowy Backstreet. That one's not bad. We'll Surveil. Ephemerate. Don't think we want. And do we just push this now? I guess. We do just have to get it off the board. We'll pass the turn. Maybe we want to Solitude it so that we can push the Slick Shot Show Off. They find a land, play the Slick Shot Show Off. They scale up. Okay. Think we're hoping they go for lethal just to get as much stuff out of their hand. If they found a protection spell, we lose. They play the Groundswell. Let's Solitude. Hope that this works. It does. Okay. Good for us. Looking to top deck white cards for this Overlord. For now, let's just run one out. Get this thing going. Opponent fetches in response. Getting Stomping Ground. Tapped, sure. We will say yes and get back a Solitude. And target them with this Relic. Pass the turn. They're passing to me. Go ahead and Overlord. Say yes. Now we'll get Ketramose. And pass the turn. Just about time to start getting insane amounts of value. Well, let's go for the Surveil land, number 2. Find a Fatal Push. Think we want that. And we'll just continue to play it slow. I think I missed an exile on their stuff. I don't know. I don't really want to die to a flurry of spells, so I'll just hold up as much removal as I can. Probably end up cracking one of these relics. That way Ketramose can attack and block when it comes down. Right? They're passing again. We do have to start getting a clock on them and drawing more cards. But for now, let's just crack this relic, untap, draw a card. We'll fetch planes, run out Ketramose now, exile a card from our yard to draw a card, and pass the turn. Overlord's ticking down. We have 2 removal spells in hand. Should be pretty safe, but I guess we'll find out. I guess I exiled 2 of my Solitudes. That's not ideal. Opponent plays a Fervent Champion. It's fine. Let's see if they attack with it. That's one that we'd very much just like to Fatal Push. Let's see if it works. It does. Good for me. And we find a Godless Shrine. Let's go ahead and exile a card from their yard. Draw. Find a March. More removal is always welcome. And let's go ahead and get in. I think we'll just crack this relic to draw a few cards. 1, 2, 3. Find another Flicker Wisp. That's solid. Now let's play out this Flicker Wisp. Blink this Overlord that's still impending down. Still have 2 removal spells up. We will try and find some more white cards to exile to our 2 pitch spells. And we'll get back the Overlord, mill over 4, see what we get. I mean, we're running low on cards. Let's just take a Witch Enchanter. But we should be able to win before that matters. We have 10, 17 next turn. I guess we probably should have got Emperor, and that way we can hit them for lethal. Opponent plays a Leyline X. Sure thing. All right, let's go to combat. Attack with everything. Say yes. Get back Emperor. Yes, we'll get back a Flicker Wisp. They take 17, go down to 3. And we'll go Temple Garden untapped, Witch Enchanter. Blow up the Leyline Axe and pass the turn. Okay, discarding a card here. Discard another Overlord. Down to 14 cards in deck, but they're probably dead here. All right, on to game number 3. Would have been really nice to win game number 1. But also nice to win game number 2, especially with kind of a mediocre draw. We had a lot of interaction, which is very important in this matchup. All right, on the draw for game 3 with another one-lander. We have been getting a lot of these. I do have a Fatal Push. I do have a Relic. I can Surveil, and I'm on the draw, but I only have 1 piece of interaction. If I had like 2 Fatal Pushes, this would be an easy keep, but with only 1, I think it's still good enough. We have Felia Overlord. We have some removal, 1 removal at least. They start with 6 and a Leyline Axe. Let's see if they go for the Fervent Champion on turn 1. They do not. Okay. Feel like we'll take that. We find... Do we want to Thought Seize them? I think we'll just Surveil for now. Don't really want to take 5 damage off a Thought Seize. They put a Slickshot Show-Off into the plot zone, into exile. We find a Plains. We'll keep that on top for now. And just pass the turn. They go Stomping Ground, tapped. Cacophony Scamp is always scary. And they pass the turn. So we're looking for more lands here. Draw Witch Enchanter. Problem is we only have one black source, so we can't play 2 spells unless one of them is a relic. Do we want to Thought Seize this turn? Do we want to get an Overlord down? I think we just have to play a little risky and get an Overlord down. We're probably not going to die if we can find a Solitude. That's also really good. Let's get Ketramose. Go to combat. Attack with Felia, blink out our Overlord. Really just need to find a Solitude here. Play that tapped. And can we find Solitude? We do not. We'll take a Boggart Trawler as a second black source. Pass the turn. I mean, I'm pretty scared here. I'm definitely pretty scared. 2 cards left in hand. If they go like Slickshot, Mutagenic Growth, Scale Up, we could definitely die here, depending on what their last 2 cards are. Hopefully we don't, but I mean, we'll see. Seems like they are doing the math. We could just hold up Fatal Push forever. I don't know if that's getting us to where we need to be in this game, though. Really needed to find Solitude there. I mean, we have like 12 more looks at it next turn. Seems like they at least don't have an easy kill. They're taking the time to think about it. Tapping 3 mana. Equipping the Leyline Axe. Sure. And no attacks. Oh my goodness. A weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. No attacks is huge. Let's play out another Overlord, I think. Still no Solitude. Let's get in with these 2. Should have played out the Boggart Trawler first. Blink. We got a lot more looks. There's a Solitude. Wonderful. Okay, they take 8. And let's play out the Boggart Bog untapped. We're going to go for the Solitude now to make sure that we can get it back with an Overlord. Try and exile this Cacophony Scamp. See if they have some sort of protection spell. They do not. Solitude dies, goes away, and comes back. The opponent is surveilling now. Okay. But with 2 removal spells up here, feeling pretty good about this one. Let's get back the Solitude and pass the turn. There's the Slick Shot Show-Off. And there's a Swift Spear, not super scary. And they pass the turn. I mean, let's go for the Solitude. Kill the Slick Shot. A Blossoming Defense. We'll Fatal Push in response. See if they have like a Veil of Summer as their last card. Even if they do, we should be all right here. Right. Let's go ahead and push that. Dies. Nice. And draw Thoughtseize. So let's fire one off, clear the way, and attack for lethal. Whew. Crazy game. Very scary match. always very scary to go up against a Leyline deck. You just never know. They can always kill you out of nowhere. And yeah, that's what happened game 1, but we have so much removal, so much interaction. I would tend to think this matchup is pretty good. So, got there in the end. 2-1 right now. Let's keep the wins coming. The play for yet another match. We will take that one with a mighty good hand here. Let's go ahead and keep it. Having plenty of lands this game, as opposed to the last couple where I've been getting a lot of one-landers and not doing awful with them, but not doing incredible either. Do I want to keep a second Solitude? I think I probably do, just as a white spell to pitch to the first one on turn 3 with this Ketramose. Start drawing some cards, hopefully. I mean, we'll see what we're up against, but possibly the Mirror. Are we getting Thoughtseized? No, it's an Aether Vial. Okay. So, different build over there. Maybe should have gone for the Godless Shrine this turn. Think keeping my life total high is fine as well. Opponent. Plains and Overlord. Sure thing. So they mill 4, they find a Witch Enchanter. So that'll be the one they get here. And that thing ticks down. I'll go ahead and flash in a Felia and hope that my opponent does not have Solitude. Can also... I mean, we'll start drawing some cards here with Ketramose. We'll also make sure this Aether Vial never does anything by attacking and flickering it out with Felia. Have a Solitude up too. Find a Fatal Push, which is not the worst. And hopefully Ketramose just takes over the game here. Hoping my opponent does not go Flicker Wisp, but it's definitely possible for them to do. We know they have a Witch Enchanter in hand and 6 unknowns, so quite a few over there. No Solitudes, at least I would think. I mean, if they do Flicker Wisp me, it's fine as long as they don't find a Solitude to get rid of my Ketramose. That is the really tricky thing for me to deal with. It's Skyclave Apparition, targeting Ketramose, sure. That's also pretty good. We are able to... How do we want to deal with that? We could go Boggart, Bog, play Emperor, blink out our own Emperor, Fatal Push Skyclave, Prismatic Ending, Aether Vial, and still have 2 Solitudes left in hand. Start getting more counters on this thing, too. I think that's a pretty good play, and we'll have a 3/3 as well. So we'll start by killing that. Then go ahead and play out the Boggart Bog. Go to combat. Suppose we'll just hit a random card from their yard. And swing. Blink out our own Emperor. And Fatal Push the Skyclave. Getting a 3/3 back. Not the greatest thing ever, but pretty solid. They play out a Witch-Blessed Meadow, going down to 9. And they play a Recruiter of the Guard, probably finding Solitude. I guess we'll see. It is a Solitude. And they immediately evoke it, killing the Felia, sure. And they have Ephemerate too, and I don't know why I clicked through that too fast, and yeah, that was a huge mistake. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Ugh. All right, well. That was a big mistake. Could have, I think, just killed them this turn, and now I cannot. Let's see what they target with this Ephemerate. Hopefully the Recruiter, and we can just march it. Okay, they do target the Recruiter. Let's go ahead and cast this. And need to find lands so we can hard cast these Solitudes, but if they have just about anything in hand, we're gonna get outgrinded pretty hard. That's Overlord of the Mistmoors. Okay. It's not the end of the world. We just need to find some good stuff soon. Beachbone Verge is a solid one. So let's get in for 3. They take it. And we'll pass the turn. They go ahead and surveil. Sure. Ugh, could have had this one in the bag. All right, let's slow down a little bit. Take a deep breath. Love to see an Aether Vial here. Opponent gets in with everything. Let's kill the Solitude now, then untap, kill the Overlord, and attack for a whole bunch of damage. Take 4. Ephemerate is a good one. Let's just go for the Solitude now, though. Kill that Overlord. Does it happen? Does happen. And we get to get in for 6, gain 3. Opponent plays Felia. Yikes. Felia's real good here. Yeah. I mean, I suppose we want to block Felia, get it off the board at least. But they get back an Overlord of the Mistmoors. And we're kind of just in top deck mode. Solitude is a nice one. Let's go for it. And I think I just want to get in with the Illusion. Keep my life-linking creature around and hope my opponent does not top deck anything good over the next couple turns. See if they get in with everything. They do. So 8 damage to me, but I'm gaining 6 back, and I have Ephemerate up for these Solitudes. Find a swamp. Not a very good draw. But let's get in for 9. Do they have their own Solitude? No. Okay. I'll pass. They do have their own Solitude, but they're waiting on it. So let's Ephemerate ours. Pretty nice one, and we'll get rid of their Solitude. They can gain some life. That's all right. And yeah, still just hoping they don't draw anything good. Hoping we do. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff to find. Overlord would be great. They're getting in, putting me down to 3, which makes me think they have something. Oh. So, huge mistake from me. Pretty big mistake from them as well. So, I guess it evens out in the end. Going into the next one. And hopefully no more big misplays, at least from my side. I don't want to... Prefer not to do that anymore. Do we have anything for this matchup? I mean, I have these momentum breakers for, like, if they're on Ketramose, but I really don't think they are. Huge to win game 1. Drannith doesn't do a bunch. Yeah, we really just don't have a sideboard for this matchup, but I feel like part of that is because we're very main-boarded for it. Is there anything that's, like, bad? Honestly, no. Like, I don't have a single thing that I'm like, yeah, I need to board that out. So let's just run it back. This is the second time now that I've done this, which maybe is a sign that my sideboard isn't built perfectly, but what you gonna do? Let's see how my opponent starts. They're on 61 cards. Second match where someone's been on 61, but it's fine with me. They start on Godless Shrine into Aether Vial. Well, we have a march for that at some point, but for now, we can just go Thought Seize You. And they have Aether Vial, Recruiter, Solitude. So we could take Fatal Push, we could take Solitude, or we could take Recruiter. And I think the best play is just take Recruiter. It gets them the most value, it pitches... They can pitch Solitude to it. I guess we could have taken second land as well and just gone for Kill the Aether Vial, but they do have another one in hand. Well... Seems like a pretty obvious Felia. Yeah, that's Felia. I guess I don't really care, though. I mean, what are they blinking out? If they go for Overlord, we can kill it. No, they're just attacking. Blinking out nothing, so 2/2 gets in. Let's take the damage. And plays out the second Aether Vial. Let's go ahead and run our Felia into a Fatal Push. Feel like I'm pretty okay with this. Okay. And untap. Find a Marsh Flats, not the worst. Let's run out Overlord. Say yes. We'll get back... I mean, we can get back Solitude now. And have Solitude Ephemerate up. Or we can just get back Felia. And pitch something to this March. I think that's better. Probably pitch the Ephemerate, or maybe the Felia. See what they do here. I guess it depends. They attack, blink out their own Aether Vial. So it feels like they don't have a lot of action if they're doing that. Let's just kill that, exiling one card. And, oh, okay. Done. Cool. Exile this Felia. Let them take their turn. Relic's a nice one. I think let's just run out Relic, go Surveil, play this Felia, force them to Solitude a Felia, and then go crazy with Ketramose next turn. Up to 4 on their Aether Vial, so that could be Witch Enchanter. Now, maybe they're holding that in hand. But let's go for Shadowy Backstreet. Surveil. We'll put a Flooded Strand into the yard. Don't really want to draw that. Let's play out Felia. See if they Solitude me. No, they have a Fatal Push. That's fine, though. We'll exile a card from their yard. Untap. Draw. Boggart Trawler is a fine draw, not incredible. Not the worst, though. And let's try and draw another card. See if they go for Solitude in response. They do not. I find second Ketramose. Let's just crack this. Draw a bunch of cards. Find Solitude. Fatal Push. And Witch Enchanter. So we'll play the Boggart Bog out tapped. I'd prefer to have white mana, but I'd also like to pitch this Witch Enchanter to Solitude, or just cast it on the Aether Vial. Opponent is surveilling. That's fine. Pass the turn to them. They do get to tick up to 5 now, but if they want to just Solitude my Ketramose, I have another one in hand. See what else they can get down. I don't know, maybe I just play it slow and Witch Enchanter the Aether Vial next turn. They have Recruiter of the Guard. That's a pretty good one. Fetching maybe white card for Solitude? Or I guess they don't really want to. Do that. They're fetching Felia. They're putting Solitude into play, killing my Ketramose. And yeah, I'm okay with that for now. I mean, it is pretty annoying, but what can we do, really? Let's play Ketramose. And just pitch cast Solitude, pitching Witch Enchanter. I guess we'll kill their Solitude here, and then we can push their Recruiter. See what we draw with Ketramose as well. So get rid of your Solitude. Draw a card. Bleachbone Verge is fine with me. It means we get to cast this Felia this turn as well. Let's play that and pass. That's fine. I mean, they definitely could have some scary stuff here. That Aether Vial on 5 is honestly the scariest thing of Aether Vial on 3, Aether Vial on 5 just means they have so much mana available to them. And it looks like another Solitude. Yeah, it's fine, I guess. I need to basically just brick them having removal spell on my Felia now. But if they had something real good, then we probably would have already seen it. It could be like an Ephemerate. Ephemerate would be really nasty. Oh, this is pretty good for us. So, oh no. Now they get to Solitude it. Oh, yikes. Okay, we need to top deck. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Well, I mean, we still had to go for it. It just wasn't as bad of a draw as I thought. All right, now we are hoping that they find nothing. I mean, they can blink out their Solitude to kill the Overlord at end step, and we can eat the Felia, and then it's Solitude on their side against nothing on my side. Of course, they could also top deck third Solitude, which is really, really good here. We need to find Overlord pronto. They flicker out their other Solitude. Yeah, that Thoughtseize was very good, and I didn't even realize. Might be going to game 3 here in just a moment. We'll see. Ketramose. I mean, it blocks. It trades with Ophelia. So we'll play it out. I guess they can just flicker out my Ketramose, too. Hoping they don't top deck more. They've really found 3 lands and just stopped right there this game. Maybe I should have... yeah, if I'd gotten rid of that Aether Vial earlier, it would have been a very nice play. But we should be able to deal with this Felia now. No, they're flickering out my Ketramose. And yeah, I'm going down to 6. That's pretty low. Have to find Solitude or something of the sort now. Overlord of the Baelmerk is pretty good. Can I have enough mana to Overlord and get back Solitude and play Solitude, which is really good here. So we could do that, or we could Flicker Wisp our Overlord. I think let's just play it safe. Play this Solitude out and draw a card with it. Get rid of their Felia. We draw 1 card, play Shadowy Backstreet, Surveil. Put that into the yard. And now I'd really like a Flicker Wisp, but pretty good top decks the last couple turns. They probably should have just got rid of my Ketramose, but maybe not. 2 cards in hand. Hopefully just lands. Let's see if they attack. They do, so we're definitely going to block. And that happens. Pretty good for us. Let's keep top decking spells. Switch Enchanter, that's what it looks like. Or March. Switch Enchanter, sure. All right. Draw Marsh Flats. That's a pretty bad one. I mean, we'll get in with Ketramose. Maybe we're not supposed to. I guess we're saving more damage if we hold it back, but if they draw a removal spell, then we're not getting anything out of it. I mean, still just in a top deck war here. We do have a lot of good draws. Flicker Wisp, Felia, Emperor of Bones is probably the best one at this point. All right, they get in for 5, gain 3, so we're really just kind of whacking each other and each taking 1 damage every turn. I'm going to fetch just to thin the deck. Get our last. So we have 1, 2, 3 lands remaining. 4 lands remaining in the deck. Let's not draw one. Felia is solid. I will take a Felia. Let's get in. They ticked up their Aether Vial to 6. I guess, yeah, they could have the Overlord in hand. That would be pretty good. Or maybe they're just hoping to top deck it. Let's see. I mean, they're probably slamming it if they have it. We'll take 5, go down to 6. Run out this Felia. See if they have maybe Fatal Push. That's what it looks like, yeah, okay. Let's get an Emperor of Bones. Overlord of the Baelmerk, also a pretty good one. Let's impend that. Get back. Flicker Wisp. Flicker our Overlord. Find a relic. Let's draw a card with the relic. Fatal Push is a solid one. Oh, definitely meant to attack there. Oh well. Oh, I was just talking about how I need to play a little bit more careful. Let's get back Felia now, because I can't pitch cast Solitude. Do they have it? They play their own Felia. Let's push it. And pass the turn. We only have 13 cards left, too. So we really can't attack with this Overlord too much more. Maybe one more time. Or if we know we have lethal with it. See what they do. Definitely wish I attacked last turn. Oh well, though. Alright. Let's untap, and they scoop it up. Okay. Whew. Big sigh of relief after that one. Not the best plays. It is, of course, pretty early in the morning for me still, and I've already played a lot of Magic. Very stressful. Still a 2-0 victory. We'll take the 3-1, move on to the next one. And yeah, another reason why Ketramose is probably a necessity in this deck. It just gets so much value. More Magic coming up soon. On the play yet again. Been getting very lucky with that. Glad for it. This is a good enough hand, pretty solid. We've got Marsh Flats, turn 2 Felia, turn 1 Surveil, into turn 3 Ketramose. Hopefully that is good in whatever matchup we're facing up against. Alright. Opponent's on a mulligan to 6, and they have revealed Devourer of Destiny, so feel like I know what we're up against now. Hopefully a slower start for them, or I can draw some amount of my good interaction in this matchup. I do have a Surveil to look for it. Turn 2 Felia is also always nice. And turn 3 Ketramose, also pretty good. Sometimes you can grind out your Eldrazi opponents. See what they exile. It's like they got a hard decision over there. All right. So they are on the Temur version. They start on Sanctum of Ugin, which is usually a good start. It means they are not ramping right out of the gate. So let's go and get a Shadowy Backstreet. We'll Surveil. Beachbone Verge can go into the yard. And we find a Godless Shrine. Well, we'll go ahead and pass with Felia mana up. See what they do on turn 2. It's Ugin's Labyrinth. Do they exile a Devourer or something else? They exile an Emrakul, and they pass the turn. So I'll just go for Felia. If they have removal, it's probably like Dismember. I find Ephemerate, which is just okay. Let's play out Ketramose and go to combat and blink it. Put a counter on this Felia and draw a card. Not the worst turn 3, but not a ton of pressure. Would prefer to have played like an Overlord or something. Find a Flicker Wisp, which is pretty nice. We'll be able to hopefully interfere with their mana with the Flicker Wisp. See what they do. It looks like Kozilek's command, but K command for only 1 is not the scariest. Let's see what they do with the Scry. They put it on the bottom. They do have 5 mana available. No green right now, though. And I think this is another Kozilek's command. No, it's Karn. Sure. Let's see what they get with it. Liquimetal coating. And pass. Oh, boy. Well, that is not going to be the hardest thing to beat. Let's go and get planes. We're going to flicker out the Ugin's Labyrinth, get rid of their Emrakul for good, draw a card, find a Marsh Flats. We'll go ahead and attack Karn just to get it off the board. Go ahead and exile our Flicker Wisp, draw another card, find a Fatal Push, kill the Karn, and go to end step, return both of these things, and then we'll get to blink out their Sanctum of Ugin, draw another card, find another Solitude, pass the turn. 5 cards in exile right now. And they scoop it up. Wonderful stuff to see. So, up a game against Eldrazi, always good for this matchup, as it can be pretty tricky. So let's board in the Aven Interrupters, board in the Thoughtseize, board in the Shatter Assumptions. 9 good cards here. I don't love the Prismatic Endings or the March in this matchup, although maybe we want to keep in one March just to like kill Torpor Orbs. And we'll board in all this junk, board out the Fatal Pushes, and I like to go down Ephemerates and 1 Emperor of Bones. And yeah, let's rock with this. Try and keep them off a lot of mana. Maybe get a nice Shatter Assumptions in one of these next couple games, and keep crushing. This is a nice hand. We'll keep it. Opponent leads on Devour of Destiny. I mean, my hand is a little bit slow, but this deck in general is a little bit slow. They exiled a couple cards there. I'm going to lead on turn 1 Shadowy Backstreet. Find Felia, which isn't the worst. Let's Surveil. We'll keep a Thoughtseize, I think. Maybe we can just pass. Play Felia. Well, if they're going to play Talisman, then... I think it's right to just White Orchid Phantom them. Blow up one of these temples and pass the turn. Then we can flicker Wisp. Or maybe if they pass with Kozilek's command mana up, we just want to counter that. They play Utopia Sprawl, choosing red. Makes sense. And a land. Let's see what they do with their mana here. Tapping 3. No, never mind. Passing the turn. Okay. I find March. That's honestly not the worst. Let's just get in with this White Orchid Phantom. And I think just pass. Happily counter a Kozilek's command. They're gonna maybe Surveil here. They do Surveil. Sure. Although, do they have enough mana? Yeah, they have enough mana to devour me now if they play an untapped land. And what do we want to do about that? Honestly, probably just let it happen. Get Surveil land plus play Felia out. Is this Sowing Mycospawn? It is. Destroying Shadowy Backstreet. Okay. See what land they get. Shifting Woodland. Sure. My land gets destroyed. That resolves. We'll go ahead and play out Felia. And I can Surveil, or I can fully take them off colorless. I go fetch Godless Shrine, March the Talisman, and then next turn play Flicker Wisp, blink that out, attack, blink my White Orchid Phantom. That puts them down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, all green. We do lose our Felia to do that, but I think it's worth it. So we'll exile that, cast this March. Think I gotta use as much mana as I can now, too. We know they have Devourer in hand. We'll untap, draw for turn, find Temple Garden. So we'll play that one out. Go for Flicker Wisp. Blink out this Forest. And yeah, I think we're just attacking. Blink the White Orchid Phantom. Leave them with 5 mana. They can... I feel like I'll trade Felia for a trigger here, and hopefully I'll just be able to race them before they can find the mana sources that they need. Next turn I can exile all their stuff from their yard. They're Surgicaling Felia. That's fine, though. Yeah, I'm okay for them to Surgical here and get a card out of the yard. Although it does mean they... they have Delirium now. So do I want to blow up Shifting Woodland? Do I have to blow up Shifting Woodland? I take 13. I can no longer Thoughtseize. Yeah, I think I do have to. Because if I do just go for Thoughtseize next turn, then I can get rid of that Devourer. Hopefully they don't dual land to cast it this turn. Can also just go for Boggart Trawler. And do they have another Myco spawn? Oh, no, they only needed one. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, right. Because I didn't blow up the temple. Yeah, maybe I had to do that. They're blowing up my Flicker Wisp. Getting in. I don't know. Could I have won this game on 1 life? Maybe. Eventually they'd probably find a land, though, so I feel like it might just be cooked for me here. Well, that's not the worst draw. Let's blow up the temple. Thought sees you. Take a Utopia Sprawl, I suppose. And we can block the Myco spawn now, but need to find an answer to this Devourer. I mean, Ketramose would be great. They have 6 mana, and did they top deck? Yeah, they top deck the one thing they can do for 6 mana. Okay. Kind of need to find Ketramose this turn, and I guess I need to chump as well. Hopefully they don't attack with the Myco spawn. That's good. Okay, block. Take 0 damage now, and I need to find Ketramose this turn. Hooah! Overlord of the Baelmerk. I mean, I'll play it, but I don't think I can get anything that stops me from dying here. Yeah, we'll scoop it up. Go to game 3. A little bit unfortunate, but without this last top deck Myco spawn, I probably honestly could have got there with the Overlord. Maybe I can survive long enough. I don't know. We'll try again game 3 on the play. All right, on the play. Let's see what we can do. 1 land. Do have interaction, but I don't think this is good enough. Let's ship it. And yeah, we'll keep this one. Go ahead and put back... Do I want to put back a Flicker Wisp or a Solitude? It's a good question. I think the second Flicker Wisp is still going to be better than the Solitude. Let's go and fetch a Surveil land on turn 1. See if we can get up to land number 3. And, hopefully, opponent's draw isn't too quick. Hopefully no Forest Utopia Sprawl. Honestly, that'd be kind of brutal. It's Ugin's Labyrinth, sure. Put a World Breaker underneath it. Do they have the Talisman? They do. That's annoying. We'll get Shadowy Backstreet. Elia can go, I think. It's going to be too slow. I'd like to hit my 3rd land. There it is. So let's fetch planes, go for the White Orchid Phantom, and hopefully keep them off all their best stuff. We do get rid of a World Breaker, which is nice. They play Eldrazi Temple, which is not nice. Do they have Kozilek's Command? Or is this Sowing Mycospawn? It is Kozilek's Command. I think we just go for, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already? Yikes, that means they can just devour me next turn. So let's just go ahead and blink one of those out. See what they do this turn. Forest. That's 6 mana now. Do they have Mycospawn? It looks like it. That is going to be really hard for us to beat. Unless they're, like, out of stuff after this. But I can't imagine that's the case. Yeah, really strong start for them. Although, looks like they're getting Surveil land here, so maybe it's not over yet. All right, so the options are... They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can go Ketramose and try and start getting value, or we can play Witch Enchanter, Flicker Wisp, the Witch Enchanter, and kill the Talisman. I think we just have to Ketramose here, though. Let's fetch Godless Shrine. Play out Ketramose, and just hope that they whiff a turn. Attack for 3. Getting Surveil land. There's the Hedge Maze. If it's just like Null Drifter, maybe we can beat that too. That's gonna be hard to beat though. We probably should have played the Witch Enchanter this turn too. Saved for a Surveil land if we could. Opponent is really thinking on this Surveil. They put Breaker of Creation into the yard. It's not castable this turn. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad one. Go for Rumble. Kozilek's Command, Kozilek's Return. Neither of those can be played, so they get a land. They choose the Eldrazi Temple. That makes sense. Need some more cards in exile, so we can start getting in with this Ketramose. Let's see what else they're doing here. Another Rumble. This time they find Another K return, another K command, and they get a Sowing Mycospawn. And they find a world shifting woodland too. That's pretty good. They can play Mycospawn just to tutor for a land here. We know they have Eldrazi Temple and then one unknown in hand. We need to find like Relic right now. Relic, Boggart, Trawler. Either of those are the best things we can find. That's 3 K commands gone. They get in for 3, sure. And tap. Find Shadowy Backstreet. So we'll play out Witch Blessed Meadow. Flicker Wisp. I guess our own thing. Draw a card now. Find a second Ketramose. That doesn't do a ton. And we'll attack. They can Breaker of Creation attack this turn. Yeah, that's probably just game over. We'll blow that up, but we needed to be able to attack with this Ketramose. We also needed to just find a relic or a land destruction for the Shifting Woodland. Looks like they're activating it. Oh, never mind. They're playing Karn. Okay, what can they get with Karn? I guess we'll find out. Maybe Liquimetal Coating. But if we can kill the Karn, then it's not the end of the world. It's Walking Ballista. That's going to try and kill me next turn. Or just blow up all my Flicker Wisps. Yeah, that's good too. Yeah, we're super dead here. Okay, we need to find Relic. We need to chump and then find Relic. Is what we need to do. So, let's play to our outs. We'll chump. Draw Felia. That's simply not going to do it. I guess let's check. Would we have found it? We couldn't even do anything with the Relic. They have Karn. All right. GG's 3-2. Unfortunate was going for the X-1 record, but we're still going to play them out, see how well we can do in the next few. GG's all around. Match 6 on the play yet again. See what we can find. This is solid. We have Shadowy Backstreet, couple creature lands, got an Emperor of Bones, got a Solitude, and a Fatal Push, so some interaction and some grindy cards as well. Looking for Overlords, Flicker Wisps, maybe. Stuff like that, really. Ketramose, of course, is the really, really good one here. Opponent on a mulligan to 7. Let's see a creature deck, hopefully. And let's see some good grindy stuff on top of the library. Felia is... Is Felia good enough here? I kind of think no. I don't, like, have anything to blink with it right now. So let's just graveyard a Felia and keep digging through the deck. Opponent leads on Arid Mesa. Sure. See what this is. Could be black-white, could be Boros. Both matchups are fine. Looks like it's Boros. See what they choose as their 1-drop. It's Ragavan. Okay, so we'll probably just go maybe Surveil Land, Fatal Push this turn. Maybe we want to play a tapped Boggart Trawler and a Fatal Push. We'll see what we draw. Definitely going to be killing the Ragavan. You never want to let that thing hit. Let your opponent get ahead on mana. We have a lot of answers to Flage. We just got to kind of play the 1-for-1 game. Make sure we keep good stuff in hand. We could also just hold on to this Solitude. With the second Boggart Trawler drawn, I think I just want to play that tapped. And maybe we'll go for just hold all our stuff and hardcast to Solitude here, or use some of these cards as their front side rather than the land side. For now, we'll play a tap land and pass. Still looking for Overlord, looking for Ketramose. I mean, I considered cutting a Ketramose for a Kaya, but I don't know. There's just so many. So even sometimes you draw two and it's not great, but at the same time, sometimes you just really want one because it's the one of the best cards in the deck. Okay, we'll Fatal Push that. See what they do. It's another land and a Johnny. Hits play, sure. I think Felia is gonna be a good play here. Let's just take the damage, hoping they tap out for something here. It's an Ocelot Pride, sure. And it looks like that's it. We'll play Felia. We'll fetch and see if they want to kill it when I do that. Shadowy Backstreet. Surveil. Fatal Push on top. I think we keep that. Now they discharge Felia, sure. Okay, so do most lists run, if they only run two Sacred Foundry, then I can go Emperor of Bones, Solitude, and kill these two. And then I have a 4/4 in play. That seems really powerful. But then I only have a Fatal Push left over. Otherwise, I go Fatal Push, Emperor Pass, play a tap land. That seems worse, I think. Let's see. I doubt they have 3 Sacred Foundries in the deck, which means they probably don't have a way to stop this from happening. So let's kill a Johnny. They gain a life. Play out Boggart Bog. Play out Emperor of Bones. Go to combat. Exile this Solitude, and then we'll get it back. With the Emperor, blow up this Ocelot Pride, and attack for 3 lifelink. Still need to find some stuff off the top. Opponent fetches Meticulous Archive, so it's like they're splashing. Let's see, what do we want? We want Overlord, we want Ketramose. They play a Fable, sure. And they pass. Was not looking for that one. Let's go to combat. Exile Ragavan, and then we're just going to get in for 4, see if they double block, and we can do them dirty with a Fatal Push. They do not. So we'll just pass. Turn. They can discard a couple cards. See if they were holding on to lands to do this. Maybe it's a Flage. Either way, pretty grindy board for them right now. I don't know if this 1/4/4 is going to be able to get it done. Need to find Ketramose, need to find Solitude would be good now. They discard 2 lands. Okay. And are they getting in? Let's Fatal Push the Goblin Shaman. Not let them make a treasure. We don't know if they're running Showdown of the Scalds or something like that. We will take 2. Hopefully see no other plays, but I feel like that's pretty unlikely for them to just have nothing. We're really just looking for Ketramose. Is this Flage? Prismatic Ending. Sure. Overlord of the Baelmerk. That's also really good. That is maybe even better now that my Overlord is dead. So let's mill 4. Say yes. We getting back Felia or are we getting back Solitude? I think we're getting back Solitude here. Just more versatile as an answer. We are going to want to blow up this Fable if they don't have anything else, or a Pride or a Guide that comes down. They're attacking. I think I'm taking. I mean, I don't want to... It feels pretty likely they have Flage. And so I don't want to trade my Overlord for a Flage and a cat. I'd rather keep it around and keep drawing cards with it. They have Solitude? Or is this... No, this is, March? I mean, they need to exile more stuff for March. So we know their whole hand now, pretty much. It's Ranger Captain Flage, because they attacked with this, and March, because it's the only thing that lets them exile and unexile a Ranger Captain from their hand over and over again. Okay, they decide on playing the Ranger Captain. See what they tutor for. It's Ragavan. It's a bit surprising. Well, let's go to combat. Actually, I think what I want to do here is Solitude the Ranger Captain, and then get back the Solitude. And then return it. And just pass. In case they play something else pretty good. We milled over a bunch of lands too, so hopefully closing in on more good top decks. If Overlord got back Overlord, that card would be so broken. Unfortunately for me, it does not. Opponent plays Ragavan. Sure. Do they attack? They do not attack. Okay. Well, we'll go for this Solitude now. If they drew white card, they can march me. Spending 3 cards from their hand to kill my Overlord. And if it gets to attack, then that's probably game over. Do we want to do this, or do we want to wait until post-combat when it's possible we find Ketramose? I think we want to wait. Let's attack. Get back. I mean, I guess the Flicker Wisp. See what they block with. Looks like they're chumping. Maybe they have discharge? It's definitely possible. Well, let's go for Flicker Wisp. Target our Overlord, I think. Maybe it's right to target just like a Boggart Bog. It is discharge. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe we should have known. And then we'll just pending that one. I don't think pending gets a ton better than this. Let's see what they have. I guess they probably have Flage, and Flage is gonna be kind of hard for us to beat now. Unless they don't draw land ever. There's land. Yeah, we kind of outmaneuvered ourselves here, trying to get too much value when we could have just blinked out a Boggart Bog and gotten rid of their stuff forever. Now we top deck land, and they're gonna get to Flage us. Yeah. Oh well. Ugh, man. Would have been a pretty easy win too. I mean, not easy. I guess we'd have one more 3-1 in play. They'd be at 2. We'd probably be winning. They wouldn't have a graveyard either. Now they're going to get to Flage me. We know they have March still in hand. In case we, like, draw Ketramose, so... Yeah, we need to find, like, Solitude or Overlord or something like that. Flage comes back. Oh, jeez. I guess pending is fine, too, now. And I pending the Ragavan when I really didn't need to either. Oh, my Temple Garden is gone. Okay. Well, our thing dies. Draw a card. Find Relic. Really just have to crack that right away. Unfortunately. Find Solitude, so that's a plan for a couple turns from now. It's a pretty good one. Take 3, 9 total, go down to 5. Sure. See what they have to follow it up. Hopefully nothing good. Maybe like just a Pride. Noah Johnny. There's Pride. Sure, and they do get to make a token. Alright, we find Ketramose. Unfortunately, we know they have March in hand. So Ketramose does not even do a ton. So we'll cast Solitude. I mean, if they go for March on my Solitude, maybe Ketramose gets it done? Let's exile the Flage. They have Discharge, and their last card is March now. Probably not winnable. We need Overlord pronto. Does Witch Enchanter do anything? No, not really. I mean, let's pray that maybe they somehow don't have it. Looks like they have it. Aye. Okay. And yeah, we're dead. I think I played pretty bad there too. All things considered. What do we want to bring in against Boros? The Wrath of the Skies. And I think we go down a couple Thoughtseize. Submit. Pretty unfortunate that, I don't know, I just got greedy. Went to blink out the Overlord. It's possible we don't win, but no, they're never getting the Flage back. Would have been a lot closer. Or if we'd gone for, like, Flicker out the Solitude. Gotta win game number 2. This is a very nice hand. Let's go ahead and Snap, keep it. We're going to lead with the Thoughtseize. Just go basic Swamp Thoughtseize into turn 2 Felia into turn 3 Overlord and try and just get that online. Then hopefully we can find a Solitude and do some Solitude Ephemerate bullcrap. So let's lead off with the play we talked about. Basic Swamp Thoughtseize. You. See if we can clear the way for Felia Overlord. Or what's going on here? Wow. Okay. I mean, none of this is super scary. Oh, I didn't even see the Ocelot Pride tucked away in there. Thought it was a second Orum's Chant. Let's just take the Pride and pass the turn. Hopefully they don't find another 1-drop. We shall see. They play Flooded Strand and pass. Wonderful. We find second Felia, which isn't great here, honestly. Maybe it can pitch to a Solitude at some point. Let's see what they do. They will have Thraben Charm up for my Overlord. Maybe we should... Yeah, we probably should have just taken that. If they go... Well, I don't know. Then they could... I don't know. They keep a card on top, unfortunately. Let's see if they slam a 2-drop. They do not. Alright. Well, I will go for Felia. Let's just get basic planes. Don't want to take more damage than I have to. Felia is down. We find Marsh Flats. So let's just Ketramose? Are they gonna Orum's Chant me? I doubt it. Yeah, let's just play out Ketramose. And they can't really do anything about this with the cards we know they have in hand. Maybe there's something sneaky hiding in there, but even if they go for Pending next turn, Ketramose has already drawn us a card, and then we get to Overlord them and hold up Ephemerate, which seems really strong. It is March Myfelia. Exiling the Orum's Chant. Well, that's probably the best Orum's Chant is gonna get. And then I guess they get to Pending now. Oh yeah, pretty good stuff for them. That was a very good draw. Lets them kill Ketramose. Lets them kill... Or at least keep the Thraben Charm in their hand. We find Pending. But yeah, we'll just pass. See what they play. Probably Iteration, that's fine. One into hand, one into exile. They get Ragavan, sure. And they play it out. So let's Felia. Draw for turn. Find Emperor of Bones. That one is not bad. Let's Overlord. Get back Flicker Wisp. Combat. Attack. Blink out Overlord. And we'll hold up Ephemerate when they try to Thraben Charm it. Take this trade, too. Okay. Now we'll get Overlord back. Take Ketramose. Pass to you. We will Ephemerate that. See if they have second Thraben Charm. Nope, they do not, and they scoop it up. So moving on to game number 3. Still happy with the way we boarded, I guess. I mean, Dranith stops Flage, and it's a 1/3. We have so much, like, graveyard interaction. I don't think Flage is the card I'm most worried about. It was pretty good in that first game, but we also misplayed a bit. Maybe Thoughtseize is better than I'm giving it credit for. I don't know, I like having all the grindy stuff. Flicker Wisp might not be the best thing, but doing it with Overlord is pretty darn broken. All right, on the draw. Win it to stay in it. I mean, I'll play out the last round regardless, but maybe live for top 8 if we go 2-0 from here. I don't know. Right now, let's focus on the match at hand. Another 61 card opponent. All right, they're on the play. This is a good hand, so let's keep. They going 1-drop on me? It is Ragavan. Okay. I mean, I probably have to Solitude that, right? I guess we don't have to do it right now. We can see what they're working with. That's a good one. But let's go Swamp Thoughtseize, I think. Swamp Thoughtseize you. Our one Thoughtseize that we've drawn every time, and yeah, I will go for this Solitude now. Seems pretty darn good. Okay, 4 lands for our opponent. They play Marsh Flats, and they pass. We will just go for this Overlord, I think, start taking it down. Go for the long game of getting a ton of value. Next turn we can play Ketramose. Let's see. Well, I guess they're going to go get a Surveil land. Either way here. Yeah, pretty bad hand for them, though. Did they mulligan to 6? No, they kept a 5-lander. I don't know if you can do that. Maybe. I don't know. 5-lander, 2 1-drops, especially. Like, if you have Ragavan into 3-drop on the play, that's, like, good enough to hedge on. They keep a card on top. It's a Guide of Souls, sure. And they play out the Elegant Parlor, sure, as well. Put an Arid Mesa into the yard. I'll draw for turn. Find Fatal Push. So, do we want to play Ketramose, or do we want to just Emperor hold up interaction? I think let's just Emperor this turn. Play Marsh Flats. For now, we'll put... I think Ocelot Pride underneath it. I mean, this blanks their attacker this turn, which seems pretty good, and maybe we get to Surveil as well. And then next turn we can start playing Ketramose and drawing cards with it. Or maybe we just get a pending out of their hand. I don't know, we shall see. Maybe they drew like a Showdown of the Scalds, too. Yeah, they did. Okay. So 4 cards off the top. A Johnny 2 lands iteration. Not the scariest, but not the worst either. Let's go fetch a Surveil land. Or do we want to just fetch untapped land Fatal Push? I think that's actually going to be better. Just make sure we can use more mana. Stay ahead on cards. Find a Windswept Heath. That is nice. Let's go for Ketramose and go to combat. We will exile now. Let's just hit the Guide of Souls. Draw a card. Find second Ketramose. Get in for 2. And Ketramose can't attack right now. No, it can while they have those cards in exile, but not for long. Okay, Overlord keeps ticking down, so that's something we got on our side too. And they don't have removal currently, but we'll see if they can find it with the expressive iteration. Start by shocking. Still a Marsh Flats in hand that we know about. They play a Johnny. Sure. Do we want to kill a Johnny now? I don't think so. Expressive iteration. Let's see where they put the counter. Probably on the cat. Sure. Hopefully they don't find a discharge for my Emperor of Bones. But even so, we could probably find a way around it. Did they? No. We exile the Ragavan. Okay, they find the discharge, which is pretty good. And they discharge our Emperor. Yeah. Putting a counter on the cat token. Still a Marsh Flats that we know about, but also few unknowns, which is pretty scary over there. Let's draw Graveyard of Ketramose. We don't need that. Maybe we find a land here? Relic of Progenitus. Well, that one is insane. So let's start with that. You exile a card. I draw a card. Find Felia. All right, let's sacrifice this. Draw 3 cards now. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll go Solitude. Draw another card. Exile a Johnny. And play out this Marsh Flats and get in for 4. So real good turn here for us. We've still got the Overlord ticking down. We have 2 Felias in hand and another Overlord. So a ton of value to be had. What are we scared of? Just a bunch of removal, a wall of removal. They only have 6 mana, so they can't haste a Flage this turn. Guide of Souls. Counter there. Sure. I guess like a Johnny plus bombardment would be the scariest thing, but we know they can't have that anymore. They have Tear for Overlord, sure. And they pass. Well, let's go for Felia. Fetch. Shadowy Backstreet. They still have Marsh Flats in hand. Let's keep Overlord. Untap. Draw. Play out Overlord. Mill 4. Say yes. Get this Solitude. Go to combat. Guess we blink out Overlord. Find Flicker Wisp. Cool. They don't block. Makes sense. We go Solitude. Exile the big one. Draw a card. Oh, we don't draw a card because it's a token. That's fine. And then just Flicker Wisp our Ketramose? Oh, no, we shouldn't have done that. We'll play a tap land. Because we wanted to keep the white card in hand for Solitude. That's probably okay, though. I doubt we die. Again, it would need to be a Johnny plus bombardment plus more. And they scoop it up. 2 minutes left on the clock, but very dead on board, so didn't go to time, which is nice. Yeah, on to the next one. Did not realize that today's tournament only had 6 rounds, so 4-2 finish, not too bad, finishing 11th overall. I will take it. Could have played a little bit better, but I think even the matches that we did not play our best in, we still won, so it probably didn't end up mattering in the end, but definitely could have played better, and Excited to play more of this deck. Hopefully, I'll be back next Sunday and we'll get into that esteemed top 8. Otherwise, more Magic content coming from your boy, Max Rappaport, aka Moopa 7. Thank you so much for watching, and to everybody who's subscribing and liking or just viewing the videos, it means so much to me. I feel like the channel has been growing a lot. We're up to 70 subscribers as I'm recording this, hopefully more by the time the next video goes up. And yeah, let's get to 100. See you in the next one.